Drawing every day is hard. Trust me, I know how hard it is because I have been drawing consistently for the last 2 to 3 years. Every day, I share something new that I drew on my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I want to share with you what I've learned that helps to keep me going while doing a walkthrough of my latest completed sketchbook. The reason drawing every day is hard is because it's difficult to get started. And even if you get started, it's hard to keep up with it. How to consistently draw on a regular basis is the key. I have a separate video specifically talking about how to get started, and I shared lots of tips to overcome the lack of motivation in that video. Check it out if you're currently finding it difficult to even get started. What I've learned over the last 2 to 3 years of practicing consistently is around changing my mindset around drawing. You see, before, I have always equated drawing with the goal of creating something. When you think of drawing, you probably think of what you will draw first, and you'll probably think of completing a drawing as there is a final drawing of some sort. But the moment you think of that, you are building a pressure and a goal in your head. You're thinking, there is this thing that I want to draw, and I won't be done until it is drawn the way I have imagined in my head. And whether that's a portrait or landscape or still life, whether it's, pen on paper or ink or paint or digital art, you are thinking of the final product instead of the process. And what I've learned over the years of practicing is that you can't focus on the end result of drawing. You have to focus on the process itself. Instead of thinking about what to draw, what the end goal is, think of what you will do and how you will do it. Make the things that are unpredictable predictable. Decide on what you will draw with. Whether you will use reference photo or not, when you will do it, etc., ahead of time. Treat drawing as an exercise instead of the means to an end. When you think of the things that you do every single day, what do you think of? For me, I drink coffee every day. I look at all of my plants every day to see if there are cleaning or bugs that I should treat, and I cook every day for myself and for my family. I don't do these things thinking about what I'll get in the end. I focus on the moment of doing these things. You see, it's enjoyable for me to drink the coffee, and I feel a sense of peace looking at my plants. And when I cook, there's a sense of fulfillment. With drawing, it's the same thing. I focus on the feelings I get when I draw. I think the best way to think of drawing when you want to draw consistently is to treat it as if it's a routine or an exercise. When you exercise, you don't think of what you will get after you exercise. You focus on what you will be doing during the exercise. It's the same thing for drawing. Think of how you will draw and not what you drew. You are not drawing every day because you want to end up with a finished sketchbook. Forget about videos teaching you how to fill your sketchbook or how to draw a specific thing. Instead, think about what you want to practice, what tools or materials you want to try out, and how you will be using them. Maybe you like portraits like me. Then start with a 10-minute pencil exercise focused on drawing line figures or contours. When I was studying for art in school, we always start the class with some quick gesture drawings. And they were never about what you end up with. It's always about the act of loosening up your muscles. It's considered a warm-up exercise. Drawing consistently nowadays, it's about the same thing. Every day is essentially a warm-up exercise for me. Until I retire and can just do art, I won't have a lot of time dedicated to drawing. In fact, I'm currently building a startup and shipping a product. It's really difficult to find time to draw. Looking back on my drawings, I've drawn some really ugly portraits with wrong proportions and mistakes in anatomy. What keeps me going though, it's the fact that I have been drawing consistently and that I have not quit art yet. I have had long gaps in my journey with art. There were years when I didn't even touch any art supplies. I put everything in a box, up on my shelf. I just kind of think about drawing in my head. I think about how great it would be to get started, but I never actually get started. It's so easy to just think about things and don't action on them. But the thing is, without action, you will never be able to improve. There are some videos that I came across where people talk about how drawing every day or doing something every day won't improve your skills. The message is essentially you aren't improving because you aren't doing it correctly, and they proceed to break down how to do the things correctly. I find these videos very clickbaity, if you know what I mean. Sure, it's true that you should practice correctly, you should do things correctly, but if you don't even start and you don't practice drawing regularly, then you will never improve. Unfortunately, that is a hard fact. Even if you got talent and you were considered a genius when you were young, if you don't start to draw now, then what's there to be proud of? If you don't put your skills to use, then do you really have any skills? Remember that while it's true, it's hard to have a finished artwork every single day. It is not hard to set aside 10 to 20 minutes every day practicing. It doesn't have to be every single day. It's just about developing a habit or a routine, something you can keep up with on a regular basis. Do it at your own pace and find enjoyment for the moment instead of the final result. Remember that the end result will come eventually, and that frustrations with art are only temporary. Just like any other routine that you already have, think of the long-term benefits. The satisfaction of building up this routine will be so immensely rewarding, I guarantee it.